PlayStation 5 DualSense controller and a few other accessories went on sale about a whole 2 weeks before the actual console goes on sale, for no discernible reason other than to piss me off and make me work on a weekend. It's a really cool controller though. It has that premium feel that you'd expect from a first-party stock controller. It's a little weird looking. It's very iRobot, the movie, not the Roomba. But more importantly, it feels really comfortable. It's larger and meatier than a DualShock 4 controller, and I actually prefer it that way. I do have big, meaty hands, but even if you don't, I feel like you would probably like it too. I typically prefer Xbox controllers because of their heft, and this feels more like that kind of heft. The D-pad is that familiar PlayStation-style D-pad. I don't play many 2D games on PlayStation, so even though that D-pad is in a great spot, it will largely go unused, let's be honest here. The thumbsticks are familiar and seem to be the same distance apart than they were on the DualShock 4 controller. The face buttons are a tad clickier, but it's not really a noticeable difference. It has the same sort of touchpad. Everything is really the same. There's nothing that's gonna freak you out. It does have a USB-C port now instead of a micro USB port. If you think you're gonna get a USB-C cable, you'd be mistaken. In fact, there's nothing in the box, just a manual. If this was just an unboxing, this would be a very disappointing video. It's a pretty controller, there's no doubt about that. The white is very nice. It almost looks like there's a hint of blue in there. That's gonna be hard to show in video. The back has a really fine textured grip that feels really cool. It has the little tiny PlayStation shapes embossed into it. They did a really good job designing this thing. The important thing here is the features of the controller. This is the reason the MSRP for these controllers went up by $10. It has haptic feedback that is supposed to feel similar to a Joy-Con's HD Rumble, in that it mimics certain sensations. It has adaptive triggers that can change its resistance on the fly. So if you're cocking back a bow, for example, you'll be able to feel that bow tension. There's a built-in microphone and a mute button, which is a controversial feature, but I think it's great to have it built into the controller. I'd rather it be here than in the camera on my TV. It also has motion controls, a headphone jack on the bottom, and some pretty lights. It would be nice if we could test any of these features. I'm not sure what made me think this would work on a PS4, but it doesn't. Can the DualSense controller for a PS5 work on... This is 11 hours ago.
PlayStation Life says, does not work on PS4, but pairs with other devices in xCloud.
It works on PC though. So I couldn't use it to play Fall Guys on my PS4, but I could use it to play Fall Guys on Steam. And it works pretty well. Oh, that's the real blink.
Oh, it's like
that's the blink. Wireless controller input. Ooh. Now we're cooking, baby. You know, baby. You know it. I definitely prefer this over the DualShock 4, but you know, as a PC controller, rumble doesn't work, haptic feedback doesn't work, adaptive triggers don't work. None of the cool stuff works. It's just a controller. It's a good controller, but for $70, it's just a controller. At least until the PS5 comes out. I also tried to play Halo 5 with it through the Game Pass app on Android. It connects just fine, but all the buttons are out of whack. They're all mapped to the wrong stuff. So you can use this as an Android controller, just make sure the app you're using has remappable controls. I also attempted to use it on the Nintendo Switch, using various adapters that let you use different controllers, and of course that didn't work either. It does supposedly work with the PS4 Remote Play app, but that's a pain in the ass setup every time I set it up, and it's gonna work the same as a PC controller, and you get the idea. All of the coolness of this controller isn't realized yet. In fact, I'm a little mad I felt forced to make this video to stay in the zeitgeist. All the other YouTubers are making their DualSense videos. So Bobby Boy's got to throw his hat in the ring. Physically, I do like the improvements of this controller over the PS4 controller. That one feels like dainty in comparison. At first glance, the design is a little divisive. I'm still on the fence about the black parts of this controller and the fact that those notches are probably going to collect Cheeto dust. But up close and in the flesh, it is a really pretty controller. I'm excited to actually try it out for real in about 2 weeks. So what do you guys think about the PlayStation 5 DualSense controller? It's out now, and hopefully this video will show you that you don't need it right now. Unless you know that you're going to want an additional controller, maybe go ahead and buy it. You're gonna end up buying it anyway. If you want a controller for PC right now, it's not a bad controller. I mean, the Xbox controller is still probably better for PC because everything's kind of optimized for it. So yeah, it's out. Just don't feel like you need to rush out and go grab it. Anyway, leave it in the comments below, at me on Twitter, and you know, all this other social media garbage. And thank you, E, for coming over and letting me play with your DualSense, because I don't have one. And if you'd like to see him put the controller back in the box, you can click right here. But of course, the most important things that you can do to help support this channel is just subscribe. Make sure you have notifications on if you want to know when these videos go up. And make sure that you're actually clicking on those notifications. If you're not going to click on the notifications, don't click the bell. All right, just regular sub is fine. Share this video with a friend. A friend who's maybe been thinking about getting a DualSense. Maybe you could talk them out of it. Until at least the PlayStation comes out. Thank you very much. Have yourself a good week.